Thank you. Hello? Thank you. So, let's go ahead and start. How's everyone doing today? That's awesome. It's nice and hot today, right? Hope y'all drinking that coconut water. Stay hydrated. So, what I'm going to talk about is where is the protein being vegan? You know, because that's the big question. You know, everyone's trying to find out where to get protein when you're on a vegan diet. So, I'm going to address that. So before we start, I have a little joke for everyone. The real reason I'm vegan is for the chicks. That's right. I don't want those baby chickens to get brutally tortured for no reason. Yeah, thank you. Took me all night to think about that.
You did good.
So what we're going to talk about is a little bit about myself. Then we're going to talk about where is the protein as a vegan. Then we're going to go into different types of proteins. And then from there, we're going to go into different types of carbohydrates and then also different types of fat. It's really important to go over all macronutrients because they're vital for our health. So, my life story started off in the USMC, which is the United States Marine Corps. I did 4 years active service inside the Marine Corps, and I also deployed into Operation Iraqi Freedom 3 and 4. And then from there, I moved from the Marine Corps and then went into the Navy. So I did the U.S. Navy Reserves for another 4 years, and I served as a CB, which is mostly construction. And then once I got out of that, when I was in the Navy, that's when I went vegan, like probably on my 4th year or my 8th year, you could say. And that's when I went vegan, and that's when I decided to get out. So once I got out, that's when I pursued my second journey. I started becoming a personal trainer. So I'm a master fitness instructor and also a health coach. And then also I wanted to start advocating for veganism. So I thought the best way to do that is through bodybuilding. Because through bodybuilding, it's a big myth and misconception when it comes to protein, when it comes to building muscle, you know, and when it comes to fitness. So I thought that was a great sport to actually present myself as a vegan athlete and promote veganism through building muscle, you know. So right here it says I'm a 2-time pro. I'm actually a 3-time pro. I just about 2 weeks ago, I went to Austin, Texas, competed with the Plant Built Muscle team. There you go, right there. And thank you. And what happened was we dominated. I don't know if y'all saw the news that was going around through social media, but it did go viral. And our team was able to bring in 33 medals out of 1,000 participants in a Natural Fit Super Games, this event, a Natural Fit Super Show, is a huge event in Texas because it's not just bodybuilding, but they have bikini athletes, they have CrossFitters, they have weightlifters, Olympic lifters, and what else do they have? And CrossFit. There you go. And it's just a bunch of games with a lot of athletes that participate in this event. And this was a world record for that event that vegans dominated. We dominated that event. So we definitely made an imprint. We showed that, you know, being on a plant-based diet, you can be a professional athlete, and you can also perform at the top performance just on plants. From there, I have my own company, is Body HD Fitness. So Body HD Fitness is my own personal training company where I do private one-on-one. And then I also have another company called Vegan Live Fit, and that's my branding site. That's where I promote and do most of my activism through there. And you can definitely check me out on YouTube. Just type in Vegan Live Fit. All right, so please pull out your phones and subscribe. And also, I'm affiliated with Clean Machine, which is an all-vegan sports supplement company. So being with Clean Machine, this is what we do is we promote vegan products. That's all healthy, it's all natural, it's non-GMO, no chemicals, no fillers, no artificial flavors. It's all pure plant-based ingredients that has a punch. So if you're a person that likes taking supplements, you know, you could definitely look into Clean Machine and look at what they have, because they have tons of stuff like ahi flower oil, protein, BCAAs, tons of stuff. All right, so the big question is, where is the protein? So number one, we have a lot of things. Like we have right here, like we say, tofu. Tofu is a great source of protein, you know, because one serving, especially if you go to Trader Joe's specifically, it actually changed from 50 grams to now 60 grams. So one block of tofu is about 60 grams of protein, which is a lot. That's more than any type of beef. That's more than any type of pork, chicken. That's more than a lot of different type of beef products and animal products that's out there. So definitely look into tofu, because a good thing about tofu is that it's a complete protein source. So you don't have to worry about trying to find other sources to try to get all the amino acids for it to break down so you can build muscle and vital for your health. Then we also have tempeh. Tempeh is also another vital source of protein, which is made out of a lot of beans and lentils and things like that, mostly out of wheat and soy, mostly. And if you have a soy allergen or a wheat gluten allergen, you know, you can always look into hemp tempeh. There's tempeh made out of hemp, and that's also a complete protein too. So if you have any type of allergens or anything with soy or wheat, look into the hemp products, all right? And then we also have green split peas. You know, 1 cup cooked is about 20 grams of protein. So that's a lot of protein you're getting out of your beans. So don't forget about, because tofu is made out of soybeans, but you also have other beans and lentils and legumes that's in that family. So a lot of beans, lentils, not just green beans, but black beans, red lentils, a lot of those things they're all good sources of protein. And then for people that's transitioning to a plant-based diet, always recommend going to the alternative products. You know, so as you see on the screen, we have Beast Burger. You know, Beast Burger is made by Beyond Meat. So these are great alternatives to have if you want that meaty flavor. If you miss that taste, you don't want to go so directly into the... Yeah, go ahead.
Gardein is buy one get one free at Publix this week.
There you go. So go to Publix. Go to Publix, man. Because, I mean, truthfully, when you go to those BOGO sales, that's the best time to load up, I'm telling you, because they sell each bag for about like $5. Yeah. So if you go to the BOGOs, you can definitely load up. And just how I say, when I was going to talk about the Gardein, they have multiple things, like anything you could think of. Pork, beef, chicken, fish, eggs. I mean, they have it all. You know, they have it all. So as you see, this is actually new. One of the newest products that they have is the fishless fillets, and that's really good. And tell you the truth, it's so good, I had to read the label like twice. Seriously, I swear to God, I had to read it twice because it tastes like the real thing. I was like, no way, like they're doing something with this, yeah. They're lying to vegans or something. They're trying to make money off of us, yeah. But yeah, definitely try them out because they have anything you could think of an animal product. Gardein does have the replacement. And then as you see, more like I was talking about before, the red lentils, green split peas, and also mung beans. Those are really good in protein. So what is a protein? So a protein is a macronutrient that requires the body to function. So this is really important, all right? Because you have macronutrients and micronutrients. So what's considered a macronutrient? Anyone know what the macronutrients?
Carbohydrates and fat.
There you go. Like one answer is right on the screen. And then you have, and then what's micronutrients? Like vitamin A, vitamin B, zinc, magnesium, all those are micronutrients. So our body could function without micronutrients, but it's really good to have them, you know, like vitamin C, because vitamin C is great for what? Your immune system. You know, vitamin D is good for what? You know, testosterone production. Yeah, it's really good. So like when it comes to macronutrients, let's talk about protein. It helps what? It helps repair muscle tissue. And also it comprises of 10% of your brain, 20% of your heart, liver, and skeletal muscle. All right. So what's one thing that you see that's in common with us? With
Giving us a finger.
yeah, that. Yeah, they're herbivores, exactly, and they're mammals. You know, all these animals are mammals. And guess what? All these animals eat what? Plants. They all eat plants, you know? So as you see it, as a gorilla, the hippo, and the giraffe. I mean, I picked these large animals, and there's a reason why I picked these large animals, because if they're so huge, imagine their diet. Imagine what they eat, what they consume. You know, I never saw a hippo have a protein deficiency. Never saw that before. You know, I never saw a giraffe like starving from like, you know, protein, none of this stuff. So if these animals could do it, and they're mammals, and mammals are supposed to be very similar when it comes to the anatomy, they're supposed to be similar to human beings. So if everything is so similar, why are we doing the total opposite? Why are we having problems when it comes to diseases, cancers, and illnesses? Why are we doing the opposite of that? You know, I don't think you have to be a health coach. I don't think you have to be a doctor. I don't think you have to be some rocket scientist to figure out what nature is just trying to call. You know, just open up your eyes and look what other animals are doing. It's that simple. It's very simple. You don't have to be an expert in this. You know, so there's different types of proteins. You have complete proteins, and also you have incomplete proteins. So a complete protein is when you have all the amino acids available so the body can be able to break it down and make it into muscle. And this is where I would say most vegans, when people go on a more plant-based diet, they fail when it comes to the protein sources. Because once people want to go on a plant-based diet, they're eating a lot of vegetables, they're eating a lot of grains, but they're not getting all the protein that's needed. You know, because there's a certain combination of foods that you have to combine so it can turn into a complete protein. Incomplete protein doesn't have all the amino acids. So like, for example, if we had like brown rice and we just ate rice all the time, you know, we're just eating a lot of incomplete protein. So we're not getting all the amino acids that we need, especially if we're trying to put on muscle and get bigger and get healthier, you know? So, but if you did like brown rice with black beans, you know, and I know most Hispanics, they've been doing it right for years, you know? So it's like, you know, if you combine them together, you don't have to eat it together in the same plate, but as long as you have it within the same day, you know, the amino acids will store into the body and it will make it into a complete protein, giving you all the amino acids that you need. So this is from my cookbook that I created, and this is an example of a complete protein that I made. So, I mean, you can't really see it that well because it's really small text, but I'll read it for you. It's called buckwheat protein pancakes. So buckwheat is a complete protein. So you don't have to look for any other sources because it's already complete. So buckwheat, you could get the buckwheat flour from your Whole Foods, from your Trader Joe's, yeah, and just make pancakes out of there. And just I believe it's a quarter cup of protein is about 20 grams. You know, a quarter cup of buckwheat is about 20 grams of protein. So that's a lot. And as you see, when I put here, I made a couple pancakes. I made like 4 or 5 pancakes right here. You know, I'm a big guy. So I put an estimated total macronutrients is 71 grams of protein. That's a lot for pancakes. You know, it's a lot. So I just want to show everyone that it's very possible to do this. You know, this is the ingredients list right here. And it's not a lot. Most of it's just flour. That's all it is. Flour, water, milk, maybe stevia to sweeten it up. And then I made my own syrup from blueberries, you know. Here's another example right here. So these are all complete proteins right here, as you can see. Give you all time to take pictures, look at it real good. But for complete proteins, we have buckwheat, quinoa, hemp seeds, soy, and then here's the combinations what I was talking about, like brown rice and beans, Ezekiel bread, hummus and whole wheat pita, if you put them together, because hummus is made out of chickpeas. You have chia seeds, seitan, and wheat gluten. All right, so all those are examples of a complete protein. So if you're trying to put on muscle, yeah, go ahead.
For beans by themselves, can they make protein?
No, when they're together. So like, for example, let's say peas, right? Peas aren't a complete protein, but you see pea protein everywhere, right? So if most companies, if you look in the back, they combined it with brown rice. Yeah, so they're not putting it on the market saying pea and brown rice protein. They just say pea protein because most of it's made out of pea, but they do combine it with brown rice to make it complete so the body can be able to absorb it better.
Edamame is complete protein, right?
Edamames, yeah, they're soybeans. Yep. So enough about protein, unless anyone else have any other questions about protein. So we have two types of carbs. We have complex carbohydrates and also simple carbohydrates. So let's talk about complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates are very good for us. Why? Because it says here, they're high in fiber and nutrients. The fiber is really good because this slows down the burning process because we need carbs for energy. You only have two energy sources, and that's carbohydrates and fats. They're the main energy sources that our body uses. All right. You don't want protein to be used as energy, because if protein is being used as energy, that's when your body goes into a catabolic state, which means it starts eating itself. You start losing muscle. All right. So it's good to get your energy sources from carbohydrates or fats. But when it comes to carbohydrates, what type of carbohydrates? So when it comes to carbohydrates, it's complex because they're slow burning. They're low glycemic, means they're low in sugar. This is part of the slow burning. All right. Help you feel full when fewer calories, and naturally stimulates the metabolism. So what's some examples of complex carbohydrates? Anyone? Sweet potatoes, brown rice, whole wheat bread, quinoa. What else? Vegetables. Yep. Broccoli. What kind of spaghetti? Whole wheat spaghetti. There you go. Yeah. If it's white, it's bad. I'm sorry. But also fruit too. Everyone forgot fruit, but fruits are also complex carbohydrates. Sorry. So don't be afraid of fruit. Fruit can't make you fat. Fruit is a complex carbohydrates, especially when you eat the skin. 60% of the fruit and 60% means 60% of the nutrients lies within the skin of the fruit.
With the pineapple.
I have to ask because I've read a lot of controversy about making smoothies because you process the fruit, your body turns it into simple carbs because you're breaking down the fiber.
With processed fruit? No, I would say more on the juicing. If you juice it, yeah, because when you juice, like a cold press, you do extract a lot of the fiber, and you're extracting all the skin, really. Right. So when it comes to like the cold juices, the cold pressed juices, or any type of manufacturer processed juice, yes, I totally agree with that. But when it comes to the smoothie, no, because you're just blending everything together. So you're still consuming the skin, you're still consuming that whole fruit. You're not extracting nothing from it. Because if you think about it, even when we put it down our stomach, if we eat it, it's still going to turn into mulch, and when it digests, it turns to bile. So it still turns into a liquid anyways, So now let's go into simple carbs. When it comes to simple carbs, what do you see? It says bad, It is bad. It's really bad. Why? Because it's low in fiber and nutrients, It's also high glycemic, so it's very high in sugar. Empty calories converted to fat, because what happens is when you're eating a simple carb, it turns into a sugar. At the end of the day, a lot of things turn into sugar. Almost everything turns into sugar, but it's all about the process and the time. So like I said, when it comes to complex carbohydrates, it's more slowed down, but when it comes to simple carbohydrates, it's more sped up. So if you do like something that's already a sugar, guess what happens when it goes into your body? It turns into sugar immediately. There's really no transformation. It's just a sugar. And if that sugar is not used at an appropriate time, it turns into fat. So what's some examples of simple carbohydrates? Sugarcane? No, not really, because it's from the plant. Candy bars. There you go. Cereal. What else? Lucky Charms. White potato. Well, actually, there's a big misconception about white potatoes. Actually, I just learned this. the thing about white potatoes is that the reason we have this big misconception about white potatoes is because we fry white potatoes a lot. We use it for like French fries and stuff like that. But in reality, it's the same. It's the same content. It's the same content. It's still a vegetable, and you could, as long as you're baking it, it's still considered a complex. Yeah, it's still a lot of fiber, and it's still considered a complex carb. But once you fry it, and that's what we do here. Like especially here in America, we're so famous of frying white potatoes. That's why the white potatoes have such a bad rap. So, like, I like to clarify that. Leave the white potato alone. Like, but it is good. But no. But thank you for saying that because I wouldn't have addressed it. But what else are simple carbs? M&Ms, candies, sodas, things like that. So ice cream. Yep. So the one thing I like to address is that can simple carbs be bad though at all in all scenarios? Can it be bad? No, right?
I think you could have them with something else that's like complex, and I think it slows down the sugar absorption.
Not really. It still goes into the body and still turns into sugar. No. Well, moderation, yeah. But the thing I like to address is like, let's say for example, Gatorade. Gatorade is a sport drink, and it's processed, and it's a simple carb, and it's high in sugar, it's high in carbohydrates, and it's high in sodium. But can it be used in a good way? Yes, it can be. Because if you see high performance athletes, especially endurance athletes, they use this because they're playing the game right now. So when it comes to energy source, like I said, it's all about the timing, right? So it's like if I needed energy right now because I'm dying on the court. Let's say I'm playing basketball because you see Gatorade everywhere in basketball. If I'm playing basketball, I need energy right now, it's probably a good time to have that Gatorade,
But I think, like, what about if you have, like, ketchup with some baked white potatoes or something like that? You have, like, ketchup with that.
It's still, I mean, in moderation, yeah, but, like, I'm not trying to say, like, stay away from it 100%. But the reason I address it so harshly is just because in America 80% of Americans are suffering from they're either overweight or obese. So it's an epidemic problem where we have to attack it so aggressively so people can really realize how harmful simple carbs is. Because if I say have it with moderation, what's moderation compared to me? Moderation to me is like maybe one time every 3 months. And moderation to someone else could be once a week.
Cheat days.
Yeah, cheat days. And when you hear the cheat days, it's like the whole day, So it's like, yeah. So it's all about what's the definition of your moderation. So that's why I address it so aggressively. But do you have to have Gatorade, for example, for sports drink? No, because it does have artificial flavors, stuff like that. I mean, they did come out with organic Gatorade. It's actually fairly new. But you could have other juices, and that's probably when you want to have like a cold pressed juice, and you could use that instead, because that is better. Coconut water too, yeah. So you could have like your cold pressed juices. That's probably a good time to have a cold pressed juice because depending on the ingredients and stuff like that, it's great to get all your micronutrients in. It's also a great anti-inflammatory, So it's repairing your muscles at the same time, and you're getting hydrated, So there's alternative ways with that too, So let's go into fats. All right. So as you see, this is actually a picture that from he's actually obese. But this is, and it's not even funny really, because this is actually, I have another speech where I'm not going over today, but I talk about child obesity, and it's a huge thing in America. A lot of people don't know, but most of it is because of the school systems. They have a lot of vending machines with a lot of junk food, and even what they're actually serving to the kids is really unhealthy too. They feed them a lot of garbage, really. So, and this is the result of that, So. Yeah, this is real sad. Yeah, because this kid's looking at like diabetes probably at the age of 11 to 20. Yeah, he probably got that. Huh? Who knows? Someone should YouTube his name. See what's up with them. But anyways, let's talk about good fats. So we have some good fats. So monosaturated fats are really good for you. They're great in omegas 3, 6, and 9. So you have like avocados, olives, almonds, and peanut butter. These are great sources of fats. Same thing with polyunsaturated fats. Walnuts, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, ahi flower oil, tofu, and soy milk.
Once you roast them, does it change the structure of the contents of the nuts? Because I hear you should eat them raw.
The thing about when it comes to that, I know that from what I was taught, anything that you cook actually does break down the nutrients, but it's not. But the thing when it comes down to the breakdown, it's all about how much you're consuming. Because when you, let's say for vegetables, for example, it's a better example. When we eat a vegetable raw, yeah, you're going to get a lot of nutrients. But if you cook vegetables, what's going to happen? You're going to consume more to make up the nutrients that's lost anyways. So there's really it's not really a big harm because you're always going to consume more anyways. And now we have our bad fats. So bad fats is our trans fats. So most of this stuff, and also saturated fats. So trans fats and saturated fats, you're going to mostly see this inside your animal proteins. You're going to see this in your processed foods. So when it comes to trans fats, this is like cookies, French fries, cake mix, refined products, and then the high saturated fats, this is coming from like your pork, beef, lamb, things like that. So the dangers of bad foods or bad fats is that type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, colon cancer, respiratory health problems, stroke, and breast cancer. And it's not really that complex when it comes to saturated fats and trans fat, because when fat enters the body, it's fat, and when it goes into your body, and if it's not a healthy fat being used at in healthy proportions and healthy ways, and you're just putting dangerous fats into your body, these fats can actually clog up the arteries, And I always say the first sign something's wrong, and I know we're all adults here, is, especially for men, if your private parts aren't working, that's the first sign. It's for real. I swear to God, it's the first sign. Because the blood, when it comes to the private parts, those are the smallest blood vessels. Think about it. It's the smallest blood vessels in the body. So that means if your privates aren't working, don't go to the doctor and just go get some Viagra or something like that. Definitely change your diet. Change your diet. Go on a more alkaline diet. And you're not going to have these issues. And when we go into good foods, life is perfect. There's really anything wrong with that. So these are all the references from the PowerPoint. Go ahead and take pictures, look them up if you want a reference. Make sure I'm not lying to you guys. And if you want, and this is all my links where you could find me. You can find me on bodyhdfitness.com, veganlivefitcoach.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just type in my name, Korin Sutton. Also, my YouTube channel is Vegan Live Fit, or you could just type in my name. And then anything about ahi flour, because I did talk about ahi flour oil, and that's the thing about ahi flour oil. Just to tell you about it, it's actually a new fat. It's a new healthy fat. It's a new raw material that was just discovered. And Clean Machine is the first supplement company to actually use it and put it out to market for the public. And the difference with ahi flour oil and any other plant products that's out there, the EPA is about 400% higher than hemp, chia, and flax. So if you want something that's very potent and it's really high in omegas 3, 6, and 9, look into ahi flour oil. Okay. And also to mention, it's a better anti-inflammatory than fish oil too. So it's a product to really look after and look at if you want to do it. And then we have my email address is korinsutton@bodyhdfitness.com. Any questions? No? All right, so that's the end of the talk. Thank you.
Can I ask one question? I love this.